The Phantom of the Opera was originally a book by Gaston Leroux, which has now become movies, little episode TV show things, animated films, and of course, the most notably, the Broadway production created by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and now it has been back in 2004 released into the theatrical film version of The Phantom of the Opera, which we are talking about today. So this one is actually outside of the Lon Chaney Sr. silent film. This is my first introduction to the Phantom of the Opera. I had never read the book growing up. I knew of the musical, but I didn't really know anything else. I might have knew the name of Michael Crawford anyway. So this is my introduction. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's why I have a soft spot for it. I know a lot of people said that it was kind of, there were issues with it, of course. And of course there's issues with everything, but a lot of people were saying that, Gerard Butler couldn't sing, and there were just a lot of different things. But to me, this was my introduction to the musical. So I actually, like I said, I have a soft spot for this one. But with that being said, there are some flaws to it. So, right away, the music's the same, and I do like it. Some of the, the tone of it is kind of odd sometimes, even for a film like this. And I know that that's kind of, maybe weird to say considering this is a musical and, it's classic and blah, blah, blah. But some of the tone, I don't think completely translated to the film as well as maybe the stage production would have. And mind you, I haven't seen the stage production. I'm just basing it off of what the little bit that I have seen and heard. It's very hard to do and a very hard thing to recreate. But I do think that it was done properly in this. I think that Joel Schumacher did it to the best of his ability. So when you have the production, like on Broadway, you got a stage, and that's pretty much it. So even though there might be mass productions and good on them for, doing that, it is still limited to what they can do. And this, of course, they can take you throughout the whole world and all that. So I did like that a little bit more. I think that they did a smart job with the scenery and different things. I think they did it good with the cinematography. I do, like I said, I think the acting is great for the most part. And I'm just going to say I like Gerard Butler. I mean, I know that people like him, but they really bashed him on this one. I think he did a good job. And even though that this was my introduction, like I said, looking back, I still think he did a good job. I can see the complaints, but I think overall it was fine. Emmy Rossum did a great job. Patrick Wilson, everyone did a great job in it. It's just this is a hard one to do, quite frankly. I mean, whether you're looking at the Lon Chaney Sr. one, or you're looking at this one, or you're looking at other ones, I know that there was a, like Wishbone, that show with the dog, they did an episode of it, and I know that there was kind of I haven't seen it, of course, but there was a Freddy Krueger one, basically. They just had Robert Englund dress up as Freddy Krueger. It had like a mask, and it was, but so there's ways to do this and there's ways not to. The only thing that and even though I like this, I can see why people would be a little maybe peeved about it, is that they might try to make the Phantom a little too sympathetic in the Andrew Lloyd Webber version, the musical. Because when you think about it, this guy's pretty much a madman, and at the end of it, you kind of feel sad that he doesn't win. But are you supposed to? You know what I mean? I don't really know. But overall, it's a great film. It's a great musical, quite frankly. I'm not a big Michael Crawford fan, so I don't really see the big ooh-ah with the original as far as the Broadway production. But I mean, I think I'm a minority as far as I prefer Gerard Butler over Michael Crawford, because Michael Crawford, of course, was a singer who was acting. Gerard Butler is an actor who was singing, you know what I mean? It's a little different, so I think that he was able to get it more realistic and all that. Same with Emmy Rossum and Patrick Wilson. I don't know. Patrick Stewart, can you imagine Jean-Luc Picard as Raoul? Yeah, anyway, like I said, it's a good film. I definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, let me know in the comments. I'm sure there's going to be some people that are like, you're crazy, this sucks. But it is what it is, so take it easy. We'll be back with another review.